The One Piece is real, and it was hidden by a real pirate named Olivier Levasseur, who some consider one of the pirate kings and who lived from 1690 to 1730 until he was beheaded. Yeah, he's also 100% the inspiration for Gold D. Roger, and at the moment of his execution, Olivier Levasseur smiled and said,
"俺の財宝が欲しけりゃくれてやる。探せ!"
Nah, that would be a little bit too much, but for real, he said, "Find my treasure, the one who may understand it." And then he dropped his necklace, which had a code in it, a code that translates to an exact map on how to find said treasure. And here's that actual code from his necklace. From 1730 until now, no one has found that treasure, which is said to be worth between $1 billion to $4 billion. So, yeah.
The One Piece is real.
Can we get much higher?
AKA, go get your roided up pervert friends in Hawaii shirts and underwear. Get the girls with fake boobs and no waistline. Get your shy homeboy with the furry fetish. Put on your straw hat and go find that One Piece. Go find that treasure.
Just do it! Yes, you can!
And please do note that I always give you the video's most pressing answer immediately, without making you take in the whole thing. Wait, pause. No diddy. But I hope you do take in the whole thing, because there's so much more I want to talk about in this video. Like the fact that Luffy is based on the Monkey King Sun Wukong, a character from a book from the 16th century called The Journey to the West. And I want to show you how Luffy is also based on the Hindu god Lord Hanuman. And I want to talk about how Usopp is inspired by the ancient Greek fable writer Aesop, and the fact that the whole Wano arc is based on an ancient Japanese tale, and that Kaido is based on a mythological demon whose nickname also happens to be the perfect nickname for any man's pee-pee. And I'm serious about that last part too. I'm really serious about that part. And even in summary, I just gave you more headline answers, but this is YouTube, this is not TikTok. We are more than superficial. We want more than superficial info. So let's go deeper and kick things off with Usopp, who is based on the ancient Greek storyteller Aesop, who wrote some of the world's most famous fairy tales, but he did not write Alice in Wonderland. That was written by Lewis Carroll, and now it was completely reimagined by Raid Shadow Legends.
I sacrificed the old Alice so I could be reborn.
Oops! No!
Imagine building the perfect cage, only to find yourself locked in it with me.
I mean, you get me. And if you download Raid by scanning this QR here, you can join the Alice's Adventure event and get everybody you just saw as a playable champion in the game for free. The legendary champion Alice the Wanderer, Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, Knave of Hearts, and the Queen of Hearts, and a bunch of extra rewards on top because Raid is gangster like that.
Forget about it.
Just make sure you open Raid on 14 different days. So you download and open the game today, that's 1 day of opening, right? And Alice, for example, you unlock on your 7th day and you get a 2-star perfect soul for her on the 14th day. You get me? Start soon because you only have until March 26th to get Alice, until January 23rd to complete the Mad Hatter Fusion event and get the Mad Hatter, and until March 5th to fight the Queen of Hearts and her minions in the event dungeon for more dope rewards. And don't worry, it's less complicated once you have the game because they explain it. And hey, can we legit just appreciate that Raid is free to play and has cinematics like this?
If I'm bound to stay here until the end of time, I better make myself comfortable.
What? And the entire game is that level of quality, but you won't believe me until you download Raid for free by scanning this QR or using the link in the description. And once you do, you immediately get a huge starter pack which features the epic champion Ultimate Galek, and at level 15 you get another starter pack that includes an epic FAYNE and if you use the promo code Monkey King in-game before February 7th, you also get the legendary champion Sun Wukong for free. And then look up my raid clan under the name Brief Nation. We can raid together while talking about how Usopp is based on the ancient Greek storyteller Aesopus, who lived around 600 BCE and was known for his grand fables, most notably Aesop's fables, which were passed down orally since the 5th century, but only collected and published in 1484 and contained the original story of the boy who cried wolf. You know, the story of the boy who goes, "Oh no, there's a wolf out here killing me, help." And then the people of his village go, "Oh no, I'm coming to save you. Where did the wolf bite you?" And the boy goes,
These nuts. Got him.
and then sometime later the boy goes, "Oh no, wolf, again, I'm so dead," basically. And the villagers go, "Oh no, we're coming to save you again, boy." And the boy just laughs again because once again he lied to prank them. And then sometime later the boy cries wolf again, screams in pain and agony and begs the villagers to come save him. But this time the villagers say,
Fool me once. Shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
only this time it really was a wolf and the boy got his ass eaten. And not in a good way, not in a good way. The boy died. Now, One Piece fans will remember that Usopp in his early days kept lying about getting attacked by pirates, and eventually no one believed Usopp anymore until they really were attacked by pirates. So that's where that comes from. And also, God, that just reminds me of how Usopp is by far my least favorite character. At times he actually makes One Piece hard to read because he's so annoying, straight coward, always, for real. Usopp just
Disloyal, fool-ass, bitch-made punk.
But yeah, Usopp the liar is inspired by Aesop's writing, and Usopp's whole punk-ass lying persona is also reflected in his name and appearance, because in Japanese, Uso means lie, and the sob means son of a bitch. Sorry, I just hate Usopp. Now, Sop is obviously taken from Aesop. And then there's the nose. Usopp's nose is long, like Pinocchio's when he lies. And if any of you are too young to remember Pinocchio, then first of all, I'm sorry about that Denzel Washington clip from Training Day. Don't watch that movie, it's very violent. But also, Pinocchio is an old story about a boy made out of wood whose nose grows big anytime he lies. And yes, the fact that whenever he lies, something made out of wood is growing is a very weird, hidden, yet overt sexual theme that is an odd choice as the main subject for a story for children. But hey, that's Pinocchio for you. Ever the pervert.
Oh no, I dropped my glasses. By the way, Pinocchio, there was a cookie missing from the jar. Did you take it by any chance?
Yes, Papa Geppetto. I'm sorry.
Are you sure you took it? Because, I'd believe you if you said you didn't.
No, I took it, Papa. I wouldn't lie to you.
You could try. Who knows, you might get away with it.
There's also a Japanese figure with a long nose that is known for lying, the Tengu. Actually, there's several of them. They are mischievous creatures from Japanese mythology with long noses that always serve as trickster figures, often using deception and lies within their tails. And all of that is Usopp. Oh, and one more thing, just to diss Usopp one more time. The real Aesopus from ancient Greece was said to be very ugly, and there's actually an ancient portrait of him.
NANI?
I'm not kidding. That's legit how someone chose to depict him. Now, look at that, and compare this to ugly-ass Usopp. Last but not least, Aesopus is said to have been of African descent, and Eiichiro Oda confirmed that Usopp's nationality is also African, you know, back when he revealed all the Straw Hats' nationalities, which I could also talk about in detail, you know, all the Straw Hats and their nationalities, but I'll talk about that in another video. For now, I have an extra fact for you that I couldn't fit in before because I had to mention my sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, before the 3-minute mark, so I'll randomly add it here. Earlier, I talked about Olivier Levasseur, but there was also a Japanese pirate king who went by the name of Fujiwara no Sumitomo, and at the height of his power, Dude had 1,000 chips to his name and was rebelling against the government on a level where he was blocking off whole trading routes like Gandalf. Ultimately, this guy was also executed like Dear Goldie Rogers, so maybe Oda drew some inspiration here. But it's more interesting to note that the Japanese Pirate King and Luffy, our soon-to-be Pirate King, share a name that only differs by one letter, Fujiwara and Mugiwara. Pretty cool. Now, there's an ancient epic that served as the inspiration for Luffy. Well, two epics actually, one from India and the other from China. And it is very likely that the one from India inspired the one from China. But let's start with the Chinese epic because you're going to be more familiar with it. The Journey to the West, aka the book that really should just be called Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. Monkey D. Luffy is literally just the Monkey King Sun Wukong reimagined and 100% based on him. But since there's always some smartass in the comments saying, no he's not because Luffy is based on Goku, guess what? Goku from Dragon Ball is also based on the Monkey King. In fact, his name, Son Goku, is just the Japanese reading of the Chinese name Sun Wukong. It's the same name. So I'll quickly tell you the story of the 2,000-page long journey to the West and Sun Wukong in a couple of minutes. No biggie, because I can. And I'll throw up a One Piece and Dragon Ball similarity counter while I'm at it. The Journey to the West is an ancient epic focused on the devoted monk and main character Tang Sanjiang, who is tasked to journey from China to India, from east to west, to bring the Buddhist scrolls to China so that the people can get some enlightenment in their lives. Journeying from east to west. Remember how Luffy's adventure starts in the East Blue and leads west? Yeah, we'll count that. But because devoted monks make really boring main characters, the real main character of the Journey to the West is really the Monkey King Sun Wukong. And the monk is also joined by a very strong demon who starts off with an evil reputation but becomes a good guy. Note that Zoro is inspired by the enlightenment-seeking Hindu demons Ashura, but that will be covered in detail in another video. For now, we'll count it. And the monk is also joined by another companion who is a literal pig demon who starts off as a pervert and also becomes a good guy. Sanji. Then they also have a shape-shifting animal companion. To be specific, it is a white dragon that turns into a white horse, and together the gang travels all the way from China to India to get these enlightening scrolls from Buddha. Even though the Monkey King has a flying cloud and could just fly there by. The journey and adventure is the goal, right? It's important to note that by the time Sun Wukong joins the monk on this journey, Sun Wukong is already the most famous and feared and strongest warrior in all of China, and like half of the book just tells his backstory of how he got to be so strong. Seriously, he really is basically the main character. Before ever meeting the monk and journeying west, Sun Wukong was just a monkey born out of a capsule-like rock on Monkey Island, where he becomes the king of all monkeys, but is very bored of the life of a king, and in his boredom he becomes aware that one day he will die, and the concept of death scares him so much that he seeks immortality. So he finds a Buddhist teacher who teaches him how to shapeshift into 72 different animals, how to stretch and manipulate his body, and all kinds of other powers along with how to be immortal. Then, with mission immortality accomplished, the Monkey King decides to steal a magic weapon from the Dragon King, a staff that can grow and shrink in size, to be exact. And as you can guess, a dude who's stealing his weapon isn't on some noble hero's journey. And all in all, Sun Wukong doesn't really use his powers for any greater good. He uses them to be absolutely free, and being absolutely free to him means doing whatever the hell he wants. And in doing whatever the hell he wants, he basically pisses off every deity in China, and eventually they get so pissed that the heavens decide to kill him by sending thunder and lightning. But the Monkey King is immortal, so no harm done. Then they sent fire to kill him. But still immortal. Then they try to just disintegrate him. But once again, the Monkey King is absolutely So really, nothing works. The heavens cannot kill the Monkey King, and they decide to do a LeBron James instead. If you can't beat him, join him. The heavens offer him a job to keep Sun Wukong busy. Specifically, his job becomes to guard the peaches of immortality in a divine garden. But the Monkey King is such a glutton that he just eats the magical fruits and now becomes extra immortal. And at this point, the heavens are like,
is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
So to really put a stop to this mighty annoying monkey, they decide to call in the cavalry. Buddha himself confronts the Monkey King, but instead of fighting Sun Wukong, Buddha presents him with a challenge. I bet you can't jump into my palm and leave it. And the Monkey King is like, that depends. Which hand are you using to wax on, wax off with? Because, you know, kinda nasty jumping in a dude's hand like that. So after the Monkey King and Buddha determine that the enlightened one exclusively strokes with his left hand, Sun Wukong jumps into Buddha's right hand and then jumps out of it. But as he jumps out of Buddha's hand, he seems to soar through the heavens, and the Monkey King sees 5 heavenly pillars, and he's thinking that these must be the 5 pillars of life or something. So while he's already there, he decides to tag one of the pillars, and when he jumps back down, back into Buddha's palm, he tells him that not only did he leave the palm, he did in fact jump so high he saw 5 pillars of life and tagged one. And that's when Buddha shows him his 5 fingers, and one of them now has the Monkey King's tag on them. Probably the middle finger one. I'd like to think that it was that one, just so you could flip him off and give this some extra sauce. He reveals that the Monkey King was never able to leave his palm, for Buddha is everything. And thus, Sun Wukong lost the bet, and as punishment, Buddha closes his hand, traps the Monkey King in his fist, and then traps him under a mountain where he says Sun Wukong has to stay for 500 years until he figures out how to use his powers for good. Fast forward 500 years, and a particularly devoted monk named Tang Sanjiang comes along and frees Sun Wukong to join him on his journey to find some scrolls, and they pick up the 2 demon companions and the shape-shifting horse to have a lot of adventures on the journey in insanely imaginative lands that are One Piece levels of weird. And when I say One Piece levels of imaginative and weird, I really mean that. Like this one time,
At band camp?
they pass through a village that has a river whose water gets people pregnant, and Tang Sanjiang drinks from that river and becomes pregnant. And then another time,
At band camp?
Tang Sanjiang is kidnapped by a huge and evil demon that wants to marry him. Or another time, a giant scorpion and giant chicken fight over who gets to eat Tang Sanjiang. It's basically all a super imaginative, quirky adventure with a lot of action scenes in between where the Monkey King just kicks the ass of whoever needs his ass kicked until they finally reach their goal. They reach Buddha, and when they look at the basket of holy scrolls they came all this way for and open the scrolls, all the scrolls are empty. For the truth to enlightenment is not written down anywhere. Enlightenment is whatever it is they found on the journey to get here. And I count that too, because I think ultimately the message of One Piece will be something along those lines. So that's the journey to the West and the Monkey King in a nutshell, and very obvious inspiration for Luffy and One Piece. But interestingly, it is very probable that the Monkey King himself was inspired by an even older character, a god actually, that is from the final destination of the journey to the West. The Monkey King is based on Lord Hanuman from India. Lord Hanuman is a god in Hinduism, a god of strength, courage, wisdom, devotion, and self-discipline, so basically worshipped by everybody. He's an extremely strong god with the appearance of a monkey who can expand his size, similar to Luffy's stretching, and who is so gluttonous that he once tried to eat the sun because he thought it was a fruit. And his teacher was Surya, the sun god, who gave Lord Hanuman the ability to
Shine bright like a diamond.
No, shine bright like the sun, actually. Chill, Riri. And that whole sun thing, now that Luffy's devil fruit leveled up to tier sun god, that whole sun thing, big connection. Also, Luffy's attack, Bajran, is just an alternative name for Hanuman. So, Luffy is inspired by the Monkey King and Lord Hanuman. Next up, Kaido is based on the demon king from Japanese folklore, the Shuten Doji, which literally translates to drunken demon, which was also my dad's nickname whenever he came home from losing all his money while gambling. I'm joking. God, why do I make these absolutely inconsiderate jokes? My dad is a great guy, neither a gambler nor a drinker. Seriously, he's great. He's great. But hey, if your dad is an actual Shuten Doji, don't worry. This demon dies at the end of the story. So Shuten Doji is a drunken demon and actually part of so many Japanese folklore stories that this guy walks around Japanese mythology like.
In all the 5 boroughs, I'm known. Forget about it.
So it is no surprise that Eiichiro Oda decided to base Kaido on him. And let's start with the obvious. Shuten Doji is a demon drunkard, and Kaido is a drunk too. Shuten Doji has horns, and Kaido is also a horny dude. Shuten Doji rocks a loincloth, and Kaido, well, he rocks a bigger loincloth because my guy's packing. There's an expression in Japanese called onini kanabo, and that translates to the demon with a club, or it can also mean the strongest of the strong. But it doesn't matter which translation you go with. Either way, onini kanabo is the nickname of my private parts. I'm proud of that joke too. I like that. That's probably my favorite joke in this video. I can't believe this video got a sponsor. I love you, Raid Shadow Legends. Download from the QR or the link in my bio, by the way. But back to Shuten Doji's nickname of the strongest one. That nickname also applies to Kaido because his title was literally the strongest of the Yonko until Luffy whooped the dude, like. And speaking of titles, the Demon King, Shuten Doji, in his youth, his boyhood name was Kaido Maru. And if you watched my other Naruto video, you already know that Maru is just what Japanese add at the end of names to make them male. So Shuten Doji's name really was Kaido. Maybe I should have started with that would have made the comparison obvious from the start. But it's obvious anyway that Kaido was inspired by this demon. But this demon is of course also part of a hero's journey, where the hero gets to kill the demon in the end. And this is where the One Piece comparisons get deeper. The entire Wano arc is in fact inspired by this hero's journey of how Momotaro kills the evil demon king Shuten Doji. So let's tell that story. You already know about the antagonist Shuten Doji, but let me introduce you to the hero Momotaro, a boy born from a peach, which, side note, Sun Wukong born from a rock, Luffy bursting out of a barrel, Goku out of a round capsule, Aang in Avatar out of a round iceberg. There's some obvious symbolism here with characters being born out of round objects, and the meaning of that symbolism is I like big butts and I cannot lie. After bursting out of the peach, Momotaro grows up to be a young man that wants to free his people from the evil demons that reside on the island of Onigashima, the island where the Demon King Shuten Doji rules. And yes, Onigashima is also the name of Kaido's island because Oni simply translates to demon in Japanese, and since Oni are associated with disasters in Japanese folklore, the island and its neighboring lands are constantly suffering through various disasters. And damn, there's too many side notes in this video, but I have to point out that Kaido's 3 companions, Jack the Drought, Queen the Plague, and King the Wildfire, are all named for disasters. So, disaster-ridden Demon Island Onigashima is our hero Momotaro's destination, and he travels there along with 3 animal companions that help him defeat evil: a monkey, a dog, and a blue pheasant. I repeat that: a monkey, a dog, and a blue pheasant.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you know, you know.
So Momotaro goes there, and because he knows that Shuten Doji is a drunk who constantly likes to get wasted with the equally as alcoholic 8-headed snake demon Yamata no Orochi, who's also featured in One Piece, Momotaro waits until Shuten Doji is drunk to make his move and kill him, freeing the island from the demons and making food available to all its oppressed citizens who had been starving under the Demon King's rule. Literally the plot of the Wano arc. So that's it. I guess that's actually the end of the video. A bit just ended the story and then end the video. I mean, didn't have a build-up for the end there. But instead, I have a bonus fact for you. There's another Japanese saying that goes, Oni no meni mo namida, and that means even demons can shed tears. And we all know that Kaido was never shy to shed a tear or two. And I'll leave it to you to turn that saying, even demons can shed tears, Oni no nemi no namida, into a dirty joke. Hint, scream it when you finish. Oni no nemi no namida. Actually, I'm not finished yet, because don't forget to download Raid via this QR code or the link in my bio and get Alice and the gang as champions in-game.
In this world, I've died 1,000 deaths. But each one made me stronger.